today we have Kubota L3301 that we're going to install our full valve kit on. This valve kit here is good for the L2501 to the L3901. It's all going to install the same, and so we're going to take a look here, and this is what you will receive whenever you get the valve kit. So this will be all of your hoses that you need, the valve, the switches, and everything. So these two here are going to be your whips for your motor. So we'll set those to the side for now. And this kit here, as you can see, this is everything you need. And what we're going to do is install it today and show you guys how it's done. Alright, so we're going to start off with 17 millimeter. We're going to take these two bolts here, and that's where our bracket's going to mount to. So the best way to do this is to take both the nuts off the back, and then we'll pull it off and stick it on. Alright, so once you've taken both the nuts off the back side, you're going to pull just this one here, stick it through here, line that one up, and it'll hold it. Then you pull this side. By doing that, it allows this to stay in one place. Then you just come back, the nuts on the back side, tighten those up. So this hose right here, this is going to be the hose going to your motor on the front of the tractor. So what you're going to do is just snake it through here. Come right up. Pull the slack out, make sure it's not pulled around your hand. And then just lay that up front for the moment. This is your Power Beyond line. So you're going to take this off. Alright, then you're going to bring this back down and tie it in right here on our valve. Now you're going to need some towels and some gloves because this does get a little messy. Tighten that back down. So this line here goes and ties into the block down at the bottom. So what we're doing is our valve is going basically in line here, and we're going to take this hose that we supply and we're going to tie back in to the Power Beyond line right there. We want to make sure that this is perfectly tight so we don't have any leakage. All right, so basically what we've done is we've taken the old line out, tied it into our valve, and then from our valve back into here. So we've put our valve in between here and here. So whenever we hit the button and power this valve, it will divert all that fluid to the motor on the lane shark. Lane shark will run. So the next step is to tie into your return. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull this line off. We're going to put the T in line, tie our return into here, and then run this all the way up to the front. We're going to snake this right along with our supply line. It's going to come down right here. So we're going to take this off here. Now keep in mind that this is going to leak when you take it off. So be prepared for a little fluid to come out. So you want to quickly put this on. So you want to tighten this one here first. And then go to the outer one. Alright, so then you've got your return and everything tied in there. Now you have your bracket is mounted, everything is there, all your lines are tied in. The next thing to do is to get the wiring done. So we supply with long enough lines to go everywhere they need to go, and we're about to show you how to do that. Biggest thing is tying the power into the seat switch. So if you ever get off the tractor, the unit will power off. If you ever turn the tractor off, obviously it'll power off. So that's our next step. All right, so we're gonna take this bolt here, pull it out, and we're gonna put our ground right here. Tighten that down. So what we're gonna do with this wire is take one of the supplied zip ties, wrap around right here, just to keep it up out of the way. All right, so we're gonna take the power wire, we're gonna snake it around the back just like we did with the ground wire, and then we're gonna go underneath the floorboard and come back up underneath the seat. All right, so once we get our power wire snaked around here, we're also gonna zip tie it to this existing wire to keep it secure. All right, so we're gonna pull this switch apart right here. This is our seat switch. We're gonna take this shielding off because we're gonna tie in to one of these wires. So once we pull the shielding back, we're gonna cut the red wire and we're gonna splice into it. So we're gonna use the supplied heat shrink. One end is bigger than the other, so the one that's bigger goes over the two wires. Right, so we're gonna take our heat gun, get that completely soldered together. All right, so while that's cooling off, we're gonna make our seat connection. Make sure that's clicked together. We're gonna turn our accessories on. We're gonna push the seat switch down to see if this lights up. As you can see, it's lit up. It means you got proper connection, and the wiring is done, minus the tightening up. All right, so now that we've tested that everything works, all that's left to do is just tidy this up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap everything with electrical tape after we put the shielding back on, make sure it's all secure, put it back together, and that'll be it. All right, now as you can see, we've got everything tidied back up. It's all secure. Now the great thing about Kubota is they have these reusable zip ties. So you just push this back through, secure it, and you're all done. All right, so now we have your two whips that go on the motor. And as you can see, one has a male, one has a female. So the way that we like to do this is imagine the fluid is going which way this points. So right here from the motor, you've got your male. Obviously that's pointing forward. So then your female will be the pressure on the motor. So just imagine the fluid going right through and right back. All right, so we're gonna start with our pressure. We'll pull this out, thread in. And our return, same thing. Now, if you're ever curious about the return or pressure side, we've got it labeled here. So this is always going to be your pressure side, always going to be your return side. All right, so the last thing we're going to do is tighten these. All right, so now, as you can see, they're male and female, so you can never get them switched up. So they will always rotate the proper way. So once you have everything secure, all the fittings are tight, you want to crank the tractor, turn the lane shark on for about 2 to 3 seconds, let all the air get out of the lines, turn it back off, check the fluid. Alright, so then we're going to top off. We're going to check the fluid levels right here. And it's a little low, so we're gonna add to it. All right, so once you've checked your fluid, topped it off, you wanna give it another once over, make sure there's no leaks, and then you're ready to cut. That's it.